Well, it runs. It don't run good. It runs okay, I guess, but it's had some issues. Oh, it's probably out of gas. Anyway, I got it down in the shop today. I drove it down, and I had to evict a snake along the way. I was looking down through here trying to start it, and there's a snake tail sticking out of one of those grates. And I tried to grab the snake's tail and pull it back out, but it wasn't having it, so I just left it alone. And it went down inside there, and like 20 minutes later, I seen the snake laying on top of the cow there, so I kind of got rid of it, threw it in the bushes. It was happy to go. A little bit of update on the shop. I got a couple lights in place back here. Got my little area, starting to get my area set up. Pegboard on the side, pegboard on the back wall. My nut and bolt bins over here. A little bit of stuff I use all the time. I'm gonna have to go through all of this stuff, and I know in that blue bolt bin it's got a bunch of Pontiac nuts and bolts and emblems and hardware and stuff like that, but all this other stuff came from my other garage. It's just had miscellaneous crap in it, and that's pretty much what it has in it right now. So my dad's old machinist toolbox up there. I got a free cabinet at a garage sale one day, so I grabbed that and put that up, and the back garage door in place, and it works and everything. The side back door doesn't go anywhere, but it kind of goes out to the backyard. The other part of my 5 acres that I continually have to mow constantly. Anyway, kind of got that. Happy to get that down here, and I drove it down, so I was happy about that too. Looks like it's got an oil leak underneath of it, or water or something. A buddy of mine gave me a set of not brand new, but a set of Pontiac Rally wheels and tires, 14x7s. He gave them to me. The problem was he needed 2 tires to put back on his car, just for rollers for right now. So I took off 2 of the tires off this car and put them on here. They will eventually go on my 68 over here. I got to put 2 of them on the front. I took those narrow little skinny front runners off that were sitting over there in the corner, those Convo Pros. I would never drive with those things on the street anyway. They're just too dangerous. For racing it was fine when I used to drag race, but these are coming off. Those are coming off. And the funny thing is, the guy gave me those wheels, and when I bought these wheels, I got them used, and they had the Pontiac emblem already on them, but they were on a set. That was kind of cool. Yeah, those wheels are going to go on this car. I bought a set of 15x7 rallies for that car that I have to restore and get ready for this car when it's time. That's a long ways away, but the motor does run. It's got a lot of power. It's running like crap right now. Something's going on. It might have a blown head gasket or something. Maybe 5 minutes into it running, it's overheating, 230, 240 degrees. So it's got something going on, but I really don't care anyway. I put a HEI on it, and I bought an HEI and a set of plugs for that car because that still has the original Points distributor in it. But I ended up using the plug wires for this car, so I have to get another set of plug wires for that car. So, but that's all right. I mean, all this stuff is just to get it out of the weather, basically. Again, I didn't want it sitting up in that barn up there, attracting mice and whatnot. And once I get this to where I can close it off, it should be a lot better. I don't know where I left off last time. I had quite a bit of this done, I think. I have to get a piece of what they call C-purlin or C-channel or whatever they call it. It's this stuff. But I need it. That was for the door, the header of the door, but it's only 10 feet long, and I decided to make it a 16-foot door, so I need to get a 16-foot piece of that to go across. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm going to try to see if I can locate one of those this week somewhere and see if I can purchase one. If not, I'll contact the manufacturer of the building and see if they can ship me one. Not a lot of stuff has happened in the last couple months since I've made the video last. We've been having a pretty good summer so far. A beautiful day today. It's not too hot, not too cold. The nice thing about this shop is where I put it. On a 90-degree day, you can come down here into the shop and it's still 75, 78 degrees because it's in the shade of that tree. So it stays pretty cool in here most of the time. Haven't had too many days where it's been too hot to where you couldn't actually work. I haven't really done anything in here yet except for, you know, working on this and getting this all set up and ready to go. And I hung all this stuff up one day and I came out and it was all warped the next day, so I unscrewed it all and I'm just kind of letting it hang right now. And then I ran out of screws, so that piece there is all straight and flat now, and this piece is flattened out. I have to leave a little bit of gap in there so they don't swell up again. But as it gets warmer, they've been flattening out pretty good. That should be plenty of pegboard for whatever I might need, you know, body tools, hammers, whatever. And I can also set it up for making wiring looms on that later down the road. I really don't have any tools to speak of to put in the shop yet. I have to go get a bunch of tools. All my stuff's in my service truck for the most part, so every time I want to work on something, I have to go get tools out of my service truck and bring them down here. And then I usually end up forgetting them down here and driving off to work and don't have all my tools, so that's been kind of a pain in the butt. So I need to start collecting some tools for down in the shop. The lights are just temporary right now. It's just plugged in over there at that plug-in. I have a fuse panel to put in. I haven't ran any permanent wiring or power to anything yet. I have the fuse panel sitting behind that panel there. I need to install that and start wiring stuff. But every time I start working on this thing, I have to end up going to work and working long shifts, so I don't get a whole lot done. So that's just the way it goes, I guess. But I'm making some progress, and it was kind of cool to drive that car down here. I made a little burnout right there. I didn't mean to, but I went to back up, and the thing just, tire for it burned up, and scared myself, I guess. Wasn't expecting it. The motor at idle was running about 40 pounds of oil pressure, so that's good. It might just be the fact that the cooling system and the belts are all wrong, and somebody adapted all this stuff together, and I don't think they ever finished it. None of the belts line up. They're like a mile away, alignment-wise. So that one's on the bottom pulley, this one's on the top pulley, and it's like all funky. So I got to get all that stuff fixed if I decide to keep this motor. The other thing is I ended up picking up two 350 complete motors, Pontiac motors, and right after I got both of those, I paid, I think, $100 for each one of those. They need to be rebuilt. They're just, you know, parts motors. But after I did that, I ended up finding a guy that had two 400 Pontiac blocks and 5 cranks, and he wanted $400 for everything. I offered him $250, and he took it. So I went and got all that stuff. So now I have two 400 blocks, both one of which is a 68 and one of which is a 69. Good solid blocks. So my plan is to save up some more money and buy a 488 stroker kit from Butler Performance for this car and just build a new motor for it. Until then, I might just see if I can get this thing to run and drive to where it's you know, somewhat streetable, and just play with it for a bit. You know, it could take me a while to save up enough money to build that motor. I wouldn't want to use stock heads. I'd want to go with some Edelbrock's or some Cuffman Performance heads or something like that. So we're talking $3,000 or $4,000 for parts. So, but that's just a plan for later down the road. I want to get this thing to where I can drive it around. I think it'll be a fun car to drive around once I get all the interior taken care of. I want to redo all the interior. There's an old alternator that was sitting in here when I got it, probably off the Pontiac motor that they took out. Those gauges up there, all garbage. It's got a 120 mile an hour speedometer. It has no tack. It has a fuel gauge. And that's about it. So I will be doing something with that. Got some gauges in here. Should be a fun car. There's a lot of rust, like down in there in the corners and stuff. But you know, it has all the really good parts on it. So I mean, it's got the air extractor fenders. It's got the Euro front bumper. It's got the scooped hood, factory GTO stuff. I'm pretty sure it's not an actual GTO, but it looks cool. I think what it is it's a Le Mans that they ordered the GTO appearance package for. But I haven't got anything back from PHS documentation yet. So anyway, I hope you're all having a good day and a good year so far. It's almost half over, hard to believe. I will continue making videos here shortly, and hope you all have a good weekend and evening. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like if you can, or if you don't, that's fine too. Either way, thank you. Bye.